If your Outschool students are zoning out, staying on mute, you're carrying the whole conversation, then this video is for you. Here's the real reason your Zoom classes feel flat, and here's a simple fix that you might be missing. Spoiler alert, it's not you, it's your delivery. You are teaching amazing content. Your lesson contents are fantastic. It took hours to plan your lesson, create your presentation, but your students still seem bored. It's likely because the lesson feels like a presentation, not an experience. And you're not alone. I used to spend hours on slides only to get blank stares. It felt exhausting. But once I realized the problem wasn't what I was teaching, I'm a math teacher, it was how I was delivering it, everything changed. Let's break this down. Most Outschool classes rely on slides, screen sharing, writing on the whiteboard, or talking through slides while students are muted. That's a recipe for passive learning. Passive learning, it looks like one student's doing all the talking. We all have that student just ready to answer the questions, but your other students, they're on mute, maybe petting their dog, their camera is off, maybe doing something else entirely. If you're thinking though, but I ask questions, I believe you. But if your students don't have a reason to interact, they won't. The fix isn't more slides, it's building interaction right into your lesson. Let me show you what doesn't work. This is one of my early lesson slides. Cute pictures, some questions, but this slide, all on me. Students watched. One student wrote the answer, helped me with the question. I was carrying the whole lesson. And I left class thinking, why am I doing all the work? And it wasn't until I stopped treating my slides like the lesson and started using them as tools for interaction that things got fun again. What does work? Building moments where students must engage. Your class feels like an experience. Hey, editing Natalie here. I just want to share my screen so I can show you what an interactive, engaging lesson would look like and kind of the tools that I use to create them. So first one is Nearpod. If you haven't heard of Nearpod or used Nearpod, I highly suggest you put this on top of your list for a new tool to use. It's all interactive features are built right into it. Okay, and I've pracked on it. So one thing I really love about Nearpod that you can do is let your students draw on your slides. And this is a word problem. So each individual student has this slide and they can draw on the slide and they cannot see what any other students are drawing. So they'll be able to circle numbers, circle keywords, write out a word, math problem right here, solve it, show me their answer right here. And I can see it and I can give feedback on students on how they're doing, but it's letting every student participate, not just the student who talks the most or has the loudest voice. Another fun way to interact and engage students within Nearpod is with a matching game. Now this one is really cool and it's exactly what students will see. I can match obviously math equation to answer, but you can also vocab word to definition. You can do a target language word to the translation, the English translation of the word or what it means, or you can even match a picture with it. You can match two words that have the same vowel pattern or the same sound pattern. Like anything could be matched. And so this is what students see. So they click on one and then they try to find the answer. It immediately tells them if they got it right and it immediately tells them if they got it wrong so they can try again. Another one right here in Nearpod is a more traditional memory test. So I have them all turned over now and I'm trying to guess and remember where they are. Oh, I haven't seen that math problem yet. Oh, I haven't yet. So they just get to click. Oh, there we are. I got a match. Perfect. And this is every individual student who's able to participate, which I love about Nearpod. And one more I want to show you is the virtual reality. This one is your 360 images that your students can move around. And you can use this for writing prompts. You can use this to talk about what you see and describe what you see in that target language, and make sure you say the word blue and the colors white and green in your full sentence as you describe this picture. There are lots of different ways. Take your students on a field trip to space. I'm using it as a theme for my space themed math lesson. So little brain break right here. We get to travel to space. So Nearpod is a fantastic tool to help engage and and create interactive lessons. What else can we do? We can play games while we teach our lesson. So here is a digital version of a battleship game, and I have this game board right here, and then I have a slides right here where this is my teaching content, and we're going to solve this problem together. It's either a fast trick, I can draw out equal groups, I can spend time teaching how to do this, and then we can go back up to my slide and play our battleship game, and every single student can give me a coordinate. This one is linked down below if you're interested in this game. Another way is teaching through stories. Everyone loves stories. They're captivating. They hold students' attention. They hold my attention. So you can take your students on a story line as you are teaching and answering questions. So just a quick preview of what that looks like. Your whole class is on a treasure quest to find the sunken treasure. There are different levels. This is level 1, 4 questions in each level. And here's my teaching slide. So I could, start to go over some vocab words and what do you think it means, and read sentences in them. I can solve this problem. And then once we have answered or taught or retaught, then my students get to pick level 1 or our first task, and here's where we get to our story. You found part of the map piece, and then the dice kind of tells our path, what's going to happen. So I roll a dice, and then that will determine, we almost lost it in the waves, or we grabbed it and we carefully stored it, we got 10 points, and then adding up the points at the end. One more way I want to show you is bringing in student interest. So social media, students are on social media. They see everyone around them on social media, whether, it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So we can take that concept, what they're familiar with, what they know, they love being on there, and bring it into our lessons. So just a template, but your students can explain what they have learned, but you're making it fun by putting it into a story, like an IG story form that they are familiar with and they know. So they have, 6 slides the student is sharing how to solve a word problem and why it's important. And then this one is just some examples. This is the Big Bad Wolf's side of the story. So he's kind of making an argument of, I was sick that day. I'm not the bad guy here. It was just an accident. So your students get to come up with those ideas, or, it's going along with a book you read and they're taking on the point of view of the Big Bad Wolf. What would they say in defense of their self? What would they argue of why they're innocent? So they are creating these story slides and pictures to go along with it. Really getting them creative. You want them to explain concepts, hold a discussion. This is a way to get them creative, telling you. We want students to have so much fun learning that they don't realize how much they are learning. So even something as simple as a spinner or timer can turn a lesson from sit and watch to let's go. You're teaching amazing content, but your students are still disengaged. The real fix is less presenting and more participation. The good news, you don't need more prep time to do this. You just need the right strategies and tools. In the next video, I'll show you 3 ways to make any lesson more interactive without adding more to your to-do list. So if you're ready and feel excited about teaching again and finally get your students to unmute and engage, click on the video on my screen and watch that next one. Tell me below in a comment, what is the hardest part of keeping your Outschool students engaged? Let's upgrade your lessons together, and I will see you in that next video. Bye.